That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Alright guys, y'all know last week I went down and told y'all, please comment something that you want to see in the video for next week. And pretty much the most popular comment that we got was y'all wanted more rest of season rankings. So now we are going to go at the running back position, update our rest of season rankings. Tomorrow we will do the wide receivers as well. But please guys, if y'all have any other video ideas, if you have any ideas of what I can do in the live stream or what I can do in the videos just to improve the overall quality for you, please let me know. Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything I do is for y'all. Everything that we've done on the channel so far has come from your suggestions. So please guys, let me know what y'all want to see, as well as while you're down there at the comment section, please make sure you drop a like. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are so close to 20,000 subscribers, and with how much we upload, with how many times we go live every single week, really the only way we get recommended to new listeners is if we have an insane amount of likes per video. So please guys, make sure you are dropping one. Alright guys, so starting it at running back 1, there's no other place we can go than Dalvin Cook. Now with Dalvin Cook, I mean, this is a running back that is consistently providing you that high-end fantasy production based on the fact that this Minnesota Vikings offense has completely transformed itself as an offense that at the very beginning of the year, they could not move the ball down the field to save their lives. And now with Justin Jefferson providing that deep threat, really defenses aren't able to come in and stack the box against Dalvin Cook. And really Dalvin Cook is just making them pay, ripping off game after game, over 200 total yards with Dalvin Cook. This is a running back that please let me know if y'all have an explanation of why you have him lower than 1. Personally, I can't come up with one. He's already gone through his bye. He's not dealing with an injury. He's getting an elite level workload, seeing elite level efficiency. Really, this team wants to just feed their offense through Dalvin Cook. And I think with the emergence of Justin Jefferson providing that deep threat on the offense, they're finally able to do so. Okay, so our second running back, he was our running back 1 the past 2 weeks, but Alvin Kamara. So Alvin Kamara is going to have to fall behind Dalvin Cook here. But the problem with Kamara is actually just Michael Thomas coming into this offense. I think that we are going to expect Alvin Kamara to be missing out on maybe 1 or 2 targets a game based on Michael Thomas coming in and seeing anywhere from 25 to 30% of this team's target share. So with Kamara, still definitely a running back that we want to rely on each and every week. Just can't have him in that same range of a Dalvin Cook. Now coming in here at 3, if he was 100% healthy, if he would have already gone through his bye week, I think we could make the consideration for him being at number 1, but Christian McCaffrey. So yes guys, McCaffrey dealing with not another shoulder injury, but dealing with another injury, this time in his shoulder. Now I'll say that because this is just a completely irrelevant injury in terms of the high ankle sprain that he suffered earlier on in the season, people are coming out asking me if Christian McCaffrey is injury prone. Guys, no. I mean, just 2 completely different random things. Cannot label McCaffrey injury prone, as he's pretty much played throughout his entire NFL career up until 2020 without seeing any of these injuries. And now what we saw in Christian McCaffrey in week 9 was a running back that is going to be able to provide us that elite level production every time he's on the field. The problem is we are most likely going to be without him in 2 to 3 weeks for the rest of the season. One of those weeks being his bye and possibly missing 1 to 2 weeks due to that shoulder injury. Now coming in here at 4, this is where it starts to get interesting, but we actually have Derrick Henry. So yes, with Derrick Henry, it is a little bit of a concern that he's not getting the targets out of this backfield, but still, we know that this offense is going to continue to be near the top of the league in terms of their overall production, as well as their efficiency, honestly, just because Ryan Tannehill has been so good with play action that Derrick Henry should have a ton of opportunities to get into that red zone, to go out there and punch in those touchdowns. On top of that, we know that he's going to be seeing anywhere from 25 to 30 carries a game. And when he's seeing that type of volume, he is a threat to have a touchdown any given week because he can score from anywhere on the field. Now coming in here at RB5, I can make the argument of actually having him at number 4, but Aaron Jones, guys, I think Aaron Jones is going to be 100% good to go in week 10. I think that we are going to see him get his usual volume. The problem with last week is that game just got so out of hand that there was no reason for Aaron Jones to be on the football field. Yes, it was annoying seeing him have that injury kind of prolong over a much longer stretch than we initially thought. Still, he should be over it. I think he is our running back 5 rest of season. Now here, this is where we get a little bit interesting. I know some people are going to be upset with this, but Joe Mixon coming in at running back 6. Guys, with Joe Mixon, ever since that Jacksonville Jaguars game, he is averaging about 4 receptions a game. And on top of that, we know that Joe Mixon is an elite bell cow running back that's going to be seeing pretty much every single carry out of this backfield, as well as all the usage at the goal line. And knowing that Joe Burrow is really elevating this offense, I think he continues that way throughout 2020. Joe Mixon looking like a smash elite level running back. Now in here at 7, a very similar type running back, Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders is pretty much seeing every touch out of his backfield in terms of getting those receptions, in terms of getting the carries and the usage at the goal line. Also with the Philadelphia Eagles, they should be getting Lane Johnson back. They should be getting back their wide receiver weapons. That's going to really allow this offense to be a little bit more efficient, see more trips to the red zone, more touchdown opportunity for Miles Sanders. Really all in on Miles Sanders rest of season. Now here coming in at 8, this was a very intriguing spot for me. I think that we are going to end up going with Nick Chubb. The most recent report on Nick Chubb says he could be good to go in week 10. So maybe this is a running back that we are going to be able to safely say is a low-end running back 1, high-end running back 2 for us every single week the rest of season. I'll say with Nick Chubb, the reason I'm going to have him behind Joe Mixon and Miles Sanders is I'm actually a little bit worried about this Cleveland Browns offense without Odell Beckham Jr. I'm kind of afraid that they're not going to have a vertical threat that can lighten up the box for Nick Chubb. Maybe teams can come down, bring a safety down, really limit the Cleveland Browns running game, something we're going to have to take note of in week 10. Okay, coming in at number 9, Josh Jacobs. Guys, with Jacobs, it's very confusing just the type of usage that we're seeing. I was kind of convinced after the first couple weeks of the 2020 season that Josh Jacobs was going to be a 3-down running back, seeing those targets out of the backfield. Those targets really have dwindled down since the beginning of the year. So right now, Jacobs looks like he may just be a 1st and 2nd down grinder. So coming in here at 10, we are going to have James Robinson. You could honestly make the argument for me to have James Robinson up there at 8 ahead of Nick Chubb and Josh Jacobs. The one problem with Robinson is we actually saw Chris Thompson get the targets out of this backfield the past week. And yes, we don't necessarily expect this Jacksonville Jaguars offense to be near the top of the league. So I don't think we can say that James Robinson is a safer player over a Josh Jacobs, a Nick Chubb, a Miles Sanders, or a Joe Mixon, but definitely worth being a top 10 running back, so we have him here at 10. Now here, maybe a running back that's going to make our buy low video, but James Conner. James Conner lost a ton of value this past week, where we actually saw some other running backs in his backfield getting usage. We actually saw James Conner really fall flat on his face in what was supposed to be a fantastic matchup against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That did not happen, but still, we are looking at James Conner being the lead back in one of the league's most productive offenses. Can't ignore the role that he has. Gonna have to put him here at 11. Now here at 12, we are going to end up having Ezekiel Elliott. Now I know, very frustrating having Elliott all the way down here at 12 when you most likely drafted him as a top 5 running back. Just this Dallas Cowboys offense is a completely different unit without Dak Prescott, as we assumed they would be, and Ezekiel Elliott is really suffering. And not only that, I mean, Zeke looks like he's currently getting outplayed by Tony Pollard. I don't know if that's going to be something we can project as the year goes on, but something to take note of. Okay, so coming in here at 13, maybe I need to have him a little bit higher, but this was based on my worry about Rashad Penny. This was based on my worry about his receiving game ability. Chris Carson, we have him down here at 13. I think now that Rashad Penny has been placed again on the short-term IR after getting taken off the PUP, maybe we could end up vaulting up Chris Carson ahead of James Conner and Ezekiel Elliott. But right now with Chris Carson, just a running back that I never really want to be overweight on. We've seen him year over year over year prove that he's injury prone. We've seen him year over year over year not necessarily get a ton of targets out of the backfield. So just not someone I'm extremely wanting on my football team. Okay, so now Kareem Hunt coming in here at 14. So with Kareem Hunt, the problem is obviously Nick Chubb coming back into this offense. That's why I told y'all 2 weeks ago to trade Kareem Hunt for James Robinson before James Robinson's blow-up game. Y'all laughed at me, telling me, Mason, you told us to go out there and draft Kareem Hunt in 2020. Why are you telling me to trade him away now? Guys, this is the reason. After that Odell Beckham Jr. injury, we are concerned about this Cleveland Browns offense. We can't ignore the efficiency that we've seen from a Kareem Hunt though. So we are going to have him in here at 14. So coming in here at 15, we are going to have David Montgomery. The problem with David Montgomery is this is a running back that has absolutely no talent. He's purely living off of opportunity. Actually, a guy that I really want on my roster if I am currently a team that's maybe 3-6 and we definitely need wins upcoming. If we read reports that David Montgomery should be good to go in either week 10 or week 11, that is not yet stated. But I think David Montgomery could be an intriguing trade target if you're one of those teams that just needs desperate running back 2 production, because he is going to get the opportunity. Now in here at 16, this is Austin Ekeler. Now Ekeler, this is kind of a Fugazi ranking of him, just because if you're currently a team that's maybe 7-2, obviously Austin Ekeler is going to be a lot more valuable to your roster than pretty much any other running back through 9 through 16. But still, at the same time, if you are a team that's maybe 2-7 and you really need a win out from here, then you have no value at all in Austin Ekeler. So really, this player is going to be based on your current team situation. Okay, so coming in here at 17, we are going to stand by it. We are going to have DeAndre Swift. Yes, this is DeAndre Swift coming in here at 17, even with other running backs in Detroit in Adrian Peterson and Kerryon Johnson getting usage out of that backfield. We cannot ignore the consistent targets that DeAndre Swift is seeing. We cannot ignore the fact that this was a running back we were extremely excited about and had as our RB1 coming out of Georgia before the NFL draft. So here, based on the talent, based on the usage he's getting in the receiving game, have to go with DeAndre Swift. Okay, now coming in at 18, we are going to have Antonio Gibson, another running back that I loved this summer in Dynasty Fantasy Football Leagues. The problem though so far is J.D. McKissic is seeing way too many targets out of this backfield, where Antonio Gibson is a former wide receiver from Memphis. I actually thought we were going to see Gibson come in and provide us a ton of receiving equity on this team. That has just not happened so far. So coming in at 19, we have Todd Gurley. Guys, I know this may be a lot lower than where consensus has Todd Gurley, but the problem with Gurley is he is not a bell cow running back. He is not an efficient running back. He's not a running back that's seeing targets out of the backfield. So what exactly is he? I mean, he's a bad first and second down grinder on an offense where really he's only relying on those goal line looks that he's seeing. He's pretty much a touchdown or bust running back week to week. Not someone I am excited about having on my team whatsoever. Okay, so Leonard Fournette coming in here at 20. Honestly, you could make the argument to have Fournette higher than this, with him pretty much getting all of those useful touches in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers backfield right now. Yes, Ronald Jones is still seeing those carries, but a lot of those carries are just the carries between the 20s, which we know are not necessarily that valuable in terms of fantasy football. Leonard Fournette is definitely the running back to own there. Okay, coming in at 21, maybe one of the most polarizing running backs on this list, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So y'all know Clyde Edwards-Helaire was a running back that I was highly advocating that you draft in 2020. I was highly advocating for you to go out there and trade for him at the beginning of the season. But the problem is, as soon as we saw Le'Veon Bell come into this offense, we've seen Le'Veon Bell take half of his usage. And that's why as soon as that signing happened, I told people, I was like, hey guys, just sell Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Don't worry about this nonsense. And right now, I still think that we are looking at a running back that has a path to being a bell cow on the most prolific offense in football. So it's going to be hard to rank him a lower than 21, but still not someone I want in my starting lineup anytime soon. Now coming in here at 22, David Johnson. Now David Johnson, yes, he does have that locked in opportunity, but suffering that injury in week 9. I'm very concerned about David Johnson's long-term outlook, because maybe they would just look to kind of try to transition away from David Johnson if Duke Johnson looks like he's able to come in here and provide some juice for this offense, because this team is really out of the playoffs already. Okay, so Jonathan Taylor coming in here at 23. Jonathan Taylor, another polarizing running back, another running back that I got horrendously wrong in 2020. As soon as we saw that Marlon Mack injury, I just ran to the YouTube channel. I was screaming that Jonathan Taylor was going to be a league winner. Clearly, that has not happened. Back-to-back weeks where Jonathan Taylor has been out-touched by Jordan Wilkins. Okay, now ending our list at 24, Raheem Mostert. I know a lot of people want to have him higher than this, but my problem with Raheem, though, is having no George Kittle on this offense is going to drastically decrease the run efficiency for the San Francisco 49ers team. On top of that, we've seen some other running backs in this backfield have success, where I think maybe this is a committee by the time he comes back. And on top of that, it's not going to be a committee we're too excited about, just because the offensive play is going to really take a hit with the no George Kittle. Now, thank you guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. I really hope y'all got something from it. As always, if y'all did, please make sure you go down there, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. It really, really helps us out. And yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Have a great day, guys.